mga kababayan, pag-uusapan natin ang iba't ibang isyong hinaharap ng ating lipunan sa cyberspace. Welcome to CyberChat and be a CyberGuardian. Narito na po tayo sa ating second part ng talakayan natin. Let us request our panelists who have been seated here quietly since we started to introduce our guests earlier. They have been intently listening kasi marami silang gustong itanong sa ating mga guests. Maaari po ba ninyong ipakilala ang inyong mga sarili one by one? Let's start with Ma'am.
Mrs. Cristina P. Dablanza po, Principal of Benigno Aquino Junior High School.
Mrs. Priscilla de Guzman po, Guidance Teacher ng Talipapa High School in Caloocan City.
Mrs. Mia Llamas Bringas, fourth year BA Speech Communication student from the University of the Philippines.
Mr. Patrick Hernandez po, Academic Instructor from Finma University.
Merwin Sakdal po, second year BSIT at Finma University.
Mr. Gian Anthony Siamisola po, grade 10 student from Elioyo Amang Rodriguez Vocational High School.
Isa sa ating mga panelists experienced bullying when she was a child and it went on to cyberbullying from high school to college. She filed a sexual harassment case in school and was able to move on. She is now a live streamer using this platform to talk about cyberbullying. Let us call on Miss Jessie Cristia Marie Llamas Bringas or Miss Mia.
Okay, I mean, any of you guys can answer the question, but personally po kasi as Attorney mentioned, I am currently a live streamer for a platform right now here in the Philippines, and currently one of the things that I actually tackle is mental health and especially cyberbullying, which is something I actually experience on a daily basis in my platform. I remember you guys mentioning kanina that it is actually the responsibility of the person using the technology. So how do we educate the people to be more responsible with the way that they use the technology, the kind of power that we have? Considering that we have the internet, we have all of the access to the kind of information that we have now, how do we make sure that the children are actually protected from all of that without breaching their privacy?
So I think parang balance lang, but the overall perhaps principle is respect and the dignity of the child. Parang safeguarding pa rin ang parang pinaka-criteria. And at the same time, siguro, how do we do that? I suppose one is yung mga different stakeholders like school, media, what else? Churches, binanggit kanina, parents. So ang daming, parang the whole village has to be involved in terms of educating, safeguarding, protecting the way we use technology. Yeah.
I guess maybe in terms of the church at least, personally from my experience, part of the reason why I don't go to my church is because of the judgment.
Yes, yes.
How do we strike the children in the sense na we are here for you and you're gonna be okay and it's safe for you to talk to us. Hindi yung tipong, okay, simbahan yan, so I'm not gonna go anywhere near that.
Correct. Thank you for asking that. Siguro ako muna sasagot kasi simbahan, no? Okay lang ba yan? Although lahat tayo bahagi simbahan. But I think usually supposed to be, ang pinaka-first line, parang si Christ, I do not throw a stone at you. Parang ganyan. So, ibig sabihin may paggalang. Pero, siguro it will help a lot. Parang, for example, confession. When people confess that we assure them, they experience consolation. So, ibig sabihin, hindi sila parang pinagalitan. Pero, parang kumbaga hindi siya judgmental, but more compassionate, more understanding, and isa pa, ano kaya, what steps to do to move on? Yeah.
Mia, what made you decide to share your story to us today?
I guess siguro it was, like I said, you know, I've been using my platform to speak about cyberbullying, to speak about mental health issues, especially right now, actually, in my line of work. Every day, actually, you experience some form of cyberbullying, especially since you're in front of the camera, you're in front of strangers who can just go on the internet and then interact with you. And then some people would come on my stream to call me ugly, to call me fat, and you know, that's the kind of power talaga that people have when they're on the internet. And you know, it makes me reminisce about like everything I've been through. I've been cyberbullied from the age of like what, 12, 13. I guess from all of that kasi, I realized that sige, there might actually be some sort of pain on the part of the bully, pero one thing that people don't realize is that being bullied at a very young age, it sticks with you. And people don't realize that, you know, it's the kind of thing that haunts you at night, that makes you think at night, that as I've actually like sought help for this before, and I ended up getting depression. I ended up being diagnosed with multiple other psychological disorders from what happened to me. And I realized that, you know, if I don't start speaking out now, then there are other children out there that are in danger of developing the same illnesses that I ended up getting from all of those experiences. And I realized, you know, someone especially, at least that's my age, it's not as threatening to hear it from someone that's a bit closer to your age. It's not as nagging if it's coming from someone who's like in their 20s. Kasi teenagers especially, like, they don't like approaching adults nga, yun nga, kasi they feel like they're gonna get blamed and all that. And I've experienced that as well. Like my parents, for example, would always tell me like, eh kasi bakit hindi ka lumaban? Or eh kasi bakit hindi ka nagsabi sa amin? As if it was that easy.
Right.
And a lot of children are actually going through these things. A lot of children are silently suffering through these things. We are trying to battle through these very traditional views kasi of things, and we just ended up having more power to spread and to weaponize. Yeah, that's exactly the word. Like, to weaponize social media, the internet in general, to harm people. But that's why I've been so passionate about my streams. I've been so passionate about my videos. Kasi nga, you know, the same thing that we have been using to weaponize, and the same thing that we have been using to harm other people, maybe we can also try to use that to start providing healing for other people, to provide them with an avenue where they could potentially feel safe in an environment that has been turned into such a chaotic and such a dangerous place.
Yeah. Thank you, Mia. Thank you for the incredible display of strength and courage. It's very admirable. With your passion put to use, you will be able to help a lot of young girls.
Thank you.
Our next panelist is an achiever, an outstanding student who is a victim of sexting. She is here in the studio actually, but she would not want to face the camera, and we respect that. Tawagin po natin siya sa alias na Ai.
I am here as a voice of the students. Like, I would like to suggest for teachers, for educators to set boundaries with their students. Teachers should know where they should stop, and students as well. I mean, students should know when to stop when they know that the teachers are showing some things that pwedeng mag-lead to something. And for the classmates or the friends of the students who are victimized by cyberbullying or sexting, they should be supportive to their classmates or friends. They should not make any stories or use social media to create foul accusations, because it will affect someone's mentality and it will affect someone's confidence. Like, you will not know that the person is affected because makikita mo lang na okay lang siya pag pumapasok sa school. But as she opens her social media accounts, as she opens her Facebook accounts, pag nakikita niya yung mga post ng kaklase niya, especially anonymous post, iwasan na lang natin na parang itag or i-mention natin yung pangalan ng victim. Kasi mas magke-create pa siya ng other side of the story, kahit hindi naman totoo. Like, hindi mabibigyan ng chance yung victim para mag-speak sa side niya. Kasi, nahatulan nyo na and nabigyan nyo ng judgments. And, para sa mga nabiktima, kahit mahirap magtiwala, you should communicate with your parents. Though you're afraid of their judgments. Like, for the parents, they should listen to their daughters or sons para hindi na din makadagdag pa sa magiging problema ng kanilang anak. And one last thing, sana kada school bigyan nila ng protection yung mga students from the teachers. Bigyan din natin ng konti respeto yung mga nabiktima. Like, wag na natin pahabain pa yung story, gumawa ng story kasi hindi natin alam kung paano to makakaapekto sa pagkatao nila.
Father Ted, is there anything that you would like to say?
Parang narinig ko lang, parang there are lessons to learn, no? One lesson is, one big lesson is, ang tawag doon ay yung parang child protection o yung safeguarding. Usually, I think she kept mentioning about boundaries. So, ibig sabihin, teachers are bound to protect their students, not misuse through texting or whatever. Classmates, isa pang lesson yon. Classmates are parang bound by confidentiality or respect to take care of their classmates. Yung ganon. Not to, kumbaga, be the channel of also parang misjudgment or false accusation. I suppose how to provide sanctuary, no? So, tapos binanggit din niya yung parents. Siguro, how can parents be, parang how will the parents have a safe atmosphere na parang listening, nakikinig, and not to judge. Ako din siguro, for the people who have been affected, to get some help, no? To get some help, let's say, available yung, kaya nga, alam ba ngayon, kukunti po ang ating guidance counselors. Minsan, 1 out of 5,000 people. Paano mo tutulungan nyo ba yan? Dami, lalo na sa mga public schools. So all the more, I think, the need for advocates to really clamor for more guidance counselors in schools, lalo na yung ating mga public schools, yon. Para may makausap yung mga tao. At saka to create programs and protocols, no?
Thank you, Father. Dr. John, as a teacher, do you have any advice for I?
Yeah. Actually, I just want to honor you, for your courage to share. But, I think your story can be a lesson for all of us here that, we have to be more to stand for what is true. Yeah, I think teachers should have to set boundaries, no? Sometimes we use social media to communicate, but sometimes, we are also human. We tend to forget our boundaries, but with your story, I think this is a challenge for us, a call for us as a teacher, that we should be more responsible, and I still believe that it is also a call for us na sinabi nga ni Father na at yung guidance counselor. Siguro, it is also a call for us to increase our peer counseling. Kasi to empower more kids or more children to peer counseling. Kasi I know there are some issues na hindi kaya i-voice out ninyo mga kabataan sa teacher kasi maybe generation gap, Pero if you're able to strengthen the peer counseling in school, madali mag-voice out to. And I think, ako personally, I just want to, address this also to the school administrator na hayaan yung bata na express it, na hindi pwede i-suppress. Kasi minsan, we have this kind of listening skills that kahit paano. Kasi there are some words na akala natin mali yung agad yung sasabihin ng bata. Yung pala meron lang talaga silang gustong ilabas or ipaglaban. Okay? So, thank you for sharing. Talagang is a challenge for us, teacher. This one.
We'll go now to Dr. Angelo. Any advice for I, sir?
But I'm more concerned about yung sa'yo, Mia, internally, because from where you're coming from, my impression is that you seem to still be suffering from this experience on a deeper level, okay? With the way you would be responding to the question and all of that. So yun yung aking concern here in my comment, okay, yung remark ko. Cyberbullying, kagaya ng ibang mga ginagawa sa atin ng mga offenses, okay, and crimes and so on, it's outside of you, Mia. What I'm saying here is that the cyberbullying happened to you, but it is not you. That could be something na pwedeng makatulong sa'yo. I'm sorry. Okay, makatulong sa'yo with regards to how you would process it. Okay, that part na nangyari sa'yo. Kasi much of the time, kaya merong mga out of control reactions, merong lingering emotional distress, and even suicidal thoughts and so on. It's because nagkakaroon ng fusion between what happened to you and who is you. It happened to you, but it's not you, and so on. Ultimately, you're the one who would need to help yourself. It's an internal thing. So isang magandang ma-practice mo, it happened to me, but it's not me. In other words, hihiwalay mo yung nangyari sa'yo doon sa value mo sa person, yung worth mo as a person, your future, di ba? Yung good blessings around you and so on. Hihiwalay mo yung partner. And that could be the beginning of your detaching from the pain. Detaching from the trauma. Pag nahiwalay mo yung dalawang yun. Hindi ikaw yun. Iba yung ikaw.
Thank you very much, Dr. Angelo.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your story truthfully and boldly.